directive from the German government in Berlin, designed to be administered to all provincial administrations under the auspices of the Greater German Federation. Accordingly, I have been forced, told, to implement several different changes to the British education system. As you know, you were all students, you were all scholars, you were all people who understand education. You know that ever since the Great War, the Second Great War of 1939 to 1942, Britain has had its education policy defined by Berlin. This, however, is something new, something more serious, I would say. That's it. It is our intention to use several schools across the country as foundation schools for the Greater German Project for Educational Reform. Our chosen educational establishment for South East England is Sutton Grammar School for Boys, located just south of the London Borough of Merton. As you can see, behind me we have quite sizable potential for reform. On our left we have the new maths block. Mathematics is of course important, but it must pale into insignificance compared to the importance of political education. Accordingly, all mathematics teaching would be instantly suspended in the maths block, replaced with 6 rooms dedicated specifically towards politics and Germanic history. The languages building shall be converted into the German language building. There will be no more teaching of German as a foreign language. German should be the only language studied to a certain extent, bar, of course, the native tongue of English. In the new Nazified Sutton Grammar, some things are going to have to stay the same. Sport will remain as one of the strongest suits of the school's extracurricular activities. Every child, every boy will be offered the opportunity to engage in sport for 2 hours every day, either in the playground, at the games fields at Northey, or here in the rather splendid surrounds of the sports. This classroom in particular displays several unwelcome contradictions. We of course have the estimable display of a German flag, which will, under the new regime, become of paramount importance. Every classroom will need to display loyalty to the fatherland. But alas, if we look at some of the course content, we see a rather darker remain. We have coverage of several elements of communist history which will have to be eradicated. Years of Russia and the USSR, of course, the foremost enemies of the fascists. Here we are in the language corridor. Under the new fascist regime, there will be no room for any other languages but German. Of course, English will have to be taught only in a primal capacity in order to allow us to express ourselves on a basic level. The higher arts, the higher papers, the higher university degrees will all have to be administered in the German language. That is a simple, basic principle to expand the German ideology.
O'Sullivan here. Owen, what do you think about the CCF being compulsory for all?
I think it's good. I think we need this kind of discipline in our society to make sure no one steps out of line anymore.
We have Matthew Healy, a member of the Southern Grammar School Students' Committee. How are you?